Well, good morning, and this is the last morning that you'll see me donning the Astros Space City hat. Why? Because they get New City Connects today. That's not the only news. Lance McCullers, Zach Dezenzo, Cam Smith. We got a lot to talk about. Thank y'all for joining us on this AM edition of Locked On Astros. Let's go right now.
Jainel Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Talks Astros. You can find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok, at Stros411 on X, Instagram, and actually Facebook.
Just
and
everywhere.
You can find me just everywhere. And Back to the Bullpen on YouTube, on iHeartRadio, and wherever you get your podcast. I'm always positive, always Stros.
Hey guys, thank you for making us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Go ahead and check us out. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Opening day is around the corner. If you need tickets, go to Game Time. So, Brett, I know that we did I know you're actually on while Lance McCullers was pitching yesterday. I joined you slightly after. But Lance McCullers, this was a big ordeal for him. He was excited for it. It was as big as pitching in a World Series game. No, it wasn't as a big event, but for him, after he thought that he was going to retire. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Altuve's day. It was a big adventure. He had some highs, he had some lows, and you're going to expect that with somebody Altuve. Right. And Dezenzo took a ball to the face when he was trying to get a ground ball. He stopped it, but unfortunately he stopped it with his face. We don't know how long he'll be out, but Jalen Beeks continues to shine. He has a different look to his the way he pitches, and also he's throwing 95 miles per hour. And City Connect jerseys. I know you're thinking about going down there a little bit later, but guys, it's coming out. We finally get to see what it looks like. We have no idea, so we're all excited about that. So let's go and get started with Lance McCullers. I know that this was a big ordeal. He has not pitched since 2022, and he was excited about it. He said that this was his family was there, his wife, his daughter, his dad was there. And yes, it was only 13 pitches. He threw I think he topped out at 94 miles per hour or 93, but he got a ground ball. Then he had a hit by pitch, but he got out of the inning. 13 pitches. They announced before the game it would only be one inning. So they're trying to do some baby steps. But for where he is right now, Brett, they're saying that he has exceeded all expectations at this point of spring training.
Well, and that only bodes well for the club, not just for Lance McCullers Jr., because we know that being on a major league roster, there's limited spots. And those spots, when they are held on to by guys that can't contribute or aren't full strength, it makes the team weaker. And I think this year more than any, this team needs a full-strength bullpen and a full-strength rotation. You'll love to see that Lance McCullers was able to celebrate it with his family. Lance McCullers talking about, wow, he was considering retiring is just, it lets us know how far he's come. And I think it garners a lot of respect. And I kind of wish at times I could maybe take back some of the critical things that I had to say in my frustration over not understanding the process. But, I'm always the person that can correct themselves, change course. I've never been anti Lance McCullers, but I absolutely love that this happened for him. And hey, I love this. Thank y'all for tuning in. Yes, this is spring break. We got William from Kuwait tuning in. Sir, thank you so much for watching us. Everybody from around the globe, Mr. Richard tuning in from Mexico City. I mean, we got people all over the place, but this is a great time in the Astros world. Why? Because there's so many storylines, and Lance McCullers has a chance to really put himself back on the forefront. I mean, Eric, Could we be talking about a Lance McCullers that is ahead of schedule and goes out and gets comeback player of the year? I mean, this is the type of season that I think Lance McCullers could have, because what is everybody expecting him to do? Not pass the test, not get a passing grade. And Lance McCullers, if he's ahead of schedule and he's doing things the right way, this might be your comeback player of the year candidate for the American League.
Yeah, and so if you think about it, you mentioned retirement thing. He said that his daughter was a big inspiration. He wanted to be able to pitch in front of her, and so that was a big issue. And Josh Miller said that a lot of people don't realize that the pitchers that go through this rehab process, especially the ones that go through the issues that Lance McCullers did, it's he basically say they go through pits of despair amid it, and basically they feel very lonely, and it's basically everybody's against him. And you have the people on podcasts saying this guy will never pitch again. Just go ahead and forget about him, trade him, all this stuff. But to hear all this sidetrack stuff and try to stay focused, he said it's great to be able to come back. And just imagine, it's been his first start in 868 days. That's a long time. And Spada said, I expect him to be a weapon for this year. And he said, it's been 900 and something days is a long time. People go quiet, and I have a very small group of people who stayed kind of pushing me the whole time. It was a big day for him. He said that Carlos Correa, Brent Strom, Alex Bregman, Dallas Keuchel, Martin Maldonado all reached out to him that day and said, you got this, go out there and show him what you can do, because these are former teammates, his closest friends. And so I'm happy for him. This was a big day for him. And this was I think it's good that the Astros, he's ahead of schedule. So he's probably going to need 5 to 6 more rehab stints before he can actually be taken off the IL, so to speak.
Right.
And then he has 30 days to be cleared to get back up to the major league roster. So I would say it's going to be about 2 months before we maybe see him back with the Astros.
Okay.
But this was a big step.
No, it is. It's huge. And again, it's huge for the team. You have a team that is really being considered on the lower end of maybe having not having pitching depth. And I don't know where people are getting that, because our relief pitching core is solid. Our starting pitching core is solid because, Eric, we also got 2 or 3 guys in AAA that are waiting in the wings that could easily come up and make a spot start here or there. So I think Astros pitching is really taken care of as long as everybody stays healthy and everybody starts off on the right foot. I think this is going to be a really solid year for our pitching staff, and could rival some of the best pitching years that we've had here in Houston.
Yeah. So I guess we need to go and address this before we talk about Altuve. We'll talk about Altuve in the second segment. But a lot of people are saying, what's a TMJ strain? It's not Tommy John, first of all. It's not that. So what happened was Dezenzo was playing first base yesterday, and ground ball went to first base. He stopped the ball, and I believe the play was made, or I can't remember the exact play because I was trying to see what happened. But he got hit in the face around right here on the jawline. So what the TMJ, there's an official name about it, but basically it hit him on the right side of the face, resulting on a sprain on the left side of the face. So the sprain is right here. It, if you've ever had the situation where it hurts, where you kind of open up your mouth, that's what it is. So he's going to have another exam today. It's not expected to be serious. It's not going to be anything that's going to keep him out for a long time. But that is what's going on. That's what.
Basically he got his bell rung by the baseball. I mean, it's just like taking a punch here, and I mean everything's connected right in the jaw area. So I'm not too worried about Zach Dezenzo. And we can talk about this after the break. What I'm concerned about more so, and some people say they're not, is Jose Altuve in left field.
Yeah, we'll go and talk about that after the But guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day.
What's up, everybody? This episode is brought to you by Supply House. Go to Supply House for all your plumbing, HVAC, electrical product needs. Use the code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's right. The EasyD's website is packed full of helpful resources and latest product info to help you get the job done right. From being a son of a master electrician growing up, I know that if this site was available to my father back then, he would have used it. But you know what? That's the catch. He's actually using it now. Semi-retired, he still does work, and he's using this. Why? Because he gets stuff delivered fast from coast to coast. If you need help with the order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for that extra edge, you get a free Trade Master program that offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage now. It's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today and go to supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use the promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com.
Oh, sorry. I forgot it was my time. But I was just looking at the Game Time app. It's pretty cool. Like opening day is right around the corner, and nothing beats catching the game action live. If you want to go to opening day and you don't have tickets, go to Game Time. And just with last minute deals, all in pricing, and the lowest price guaranteed, Game Time takes the stress out of buying MLB tickets. Plus, ticket prices drop as game time gets closer, meaning you can score an incredible deal. So if somebody they're charging a lot of money and then they can't get that money, you could get the tickets for lower. So if you decide to go opening day at the last minute, you had a meeting that got canceled, you can go and go after all, then go ahead and do that. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Make his first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Go ahead and check us out. So I think that we are all excited about opening day right around the corner. I know that next Thursday, it's hard to believe it's already next week. I know it's only the 19th, but it feels like it's going to be this Thursday. I know that a lot of people are excited, but a lot of people want to know, is Jose Altuve going to be playing left field on opening day? And a lot of people saw what happened yesterday. He made one of the best catches he's made the whole year. He ran back, and I wouldn't call it over-shouldered catch, but he was running towards left center field and almost hit the wall. And then as he caught the ball, he hit the wall and had the presence of mind to go ahead and throw the ball back in. And so that was a play you want a left fielder to make. But with a runner at third base, you had a situation where I think, and this was Joe Espada said after the game, he was overthinking it. He was trying to make a play before. This is something that like Jeremy Pena does. This is something that people do all the time. They try to make the play before they actually do. So it was a routine fly ball to left field. The runner was going to tag, and this was going to be the first opportunity that we got to see Jose Altuve make a throw to home plate. And what did he do? Yes, he missed it. And the excuses we heard after the game, well, he's getting used to the glove. It's a bigger glove than he's used to. And he was trying to throw the ball before he caught it. And we've heard this all the time. I know, Brett, you and I have played baseball at one point of our life. It's you try to think ahead. What are you going to do? And you got to make the play first, then decide what you're going to do. And this is Jose Altuve, who's not a spring chicken anymore. And so he's learning a new position out there. And unfortunately, it cost Arrighetti some runs. Do these runs matter? No, this is spring training. this is where you want to make the mistakes.
Yeah. So look, I got a couple different perspectives on this because a lot of times when something like this happens, I'm not shy of putting out my opinion. Of course, I can always stand to correct, like I mentioned earlier. I'm never always right about every single thing, only other than when I'm wrong, which is not often. I'm joking. But Jose Altuve, if you think about it, it was actually kind of the perfect response to something I put out there when I just said, maybe Jose Altuve should go back to second base. And of course, I was tweeted back immediately with a highlight from my friend Dez on Twitter, and he showed a video of Jose Altuve missing a ground ball at second base in the ALDS versus the Tigers. And he says, oh yeah, 162 games will fix that. Yes, that's right, Desert Stros, 60% of the time, every time. And at the end of the day, whether people think my grammar isn't correct or whether people think Altuve should be in left field or should be at second base, I trust the Houston Astros as putting him in the position where he's going to be the least damaging, not most effective, least damaging. From what I'm hearing and what I'm understanding is their calculation is that he's less of a detriment with fewer opportunities in left field than he is at second base. And they apparently undervalue his gloves so much that they've moved him to left field. You have a guy in a DH in Yordan Alvarez, so you're not going to move him to DH. And Jose Altuve thrives off of playing in the game. So I think at the end of the day, Jose Altuve, I know we were talking about yesterday, yeah, he's going to end up back at second base. I don't think he's going to end up at second base. I think Brendan Rodgers is going to end up at second base. You have the chance to have a Gold Glover and a former number 3 overall pick at second base, maybe revitalizing his career in Houston. Jose Altuve, I think, will be fine ultimately in left field. And yes, he was trying to make the exchange. Yes, that exchange is different, and he needs more reps like that. If I'm Altuve, I'm like, tomorrow morning, I need y'all hitting me fly balls where I get behind it, where I catch it. I need someone on the bases simulating a guy going home, and I need to practice this. And if I'm not great, I'm at least going to be good at it.
Well, Patrick Crichton has kind of changed his tune a little bit after coming on our podcast. He's actually saying that Cam Smith is likely, he feels like he's more likely to be on the opening day roster. He said that he's kind of changed his mind after Will Kunkel, Bob Nightingale, and also Ben Verlander. They all feel like he's going to be on the opening day roster. Also, Eric Huysman and Brett Chancey, after talking to them, I feel like a lot. No, but it was kind of funny that he also mentioned something I've mentioned a couple, I would say a week ago. The best option, I know this is not the best defensive option technically. Put Altuve back in second base, put one of them in left field, put Dezenzo in left field, and to put Cam Smith in right field. That would be your best offensive team right there. And I know that's not what they're going to do, but if you really want to put the best offensive team there, why are you going to put somebody that you don't know what they could do offensively at second base? And then,
right, but you don't have a 1 through 9 in most ball clubs that can all hit. And I do agree, Dezenzo, if he performs, will be a better point. But I do like Rob's point here. A Gold Glove at first, a Gold Glove at second, and a Gold Glove at third.
Right.
When Fromber and Hunter induce a lot of ground balls, makes sense. Again, I don't think he's going to play left field every single game, but they are going to put him in left field when they think the most opportunities are going to present themselves statistically when it comes to that pitcher, whoever is on the mound. What you can't really jockey back and forth on is when the relief pitchers are in, because the relief pitchers change every inning, every third batter, so on and so forth. But I really think David says Yordan starts on the bench. David, what are you talking about? Yordan is the DH. He's not starting on the bench.
Well, he does have the finger soreness, so that's going to put him out to the All-Star break.
No, he'll be fine. He's going to be he should be back in today's game. But in our next segment, I do want to talk a little bit about Jalen Beeks and maybe some Stephen O'Kurt talk. And the City Connect jersey is revealed, but they're not selling it till 6 hours later.
Well, that's what we think is happening. We don't really know, but we'll go and you may be going to get the scoop on that. So, guys, thank you for making us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Go and check us out.
All right, everybody, I want to talk to you about Just Ingredients today. They are a sponsor. Visit justingredients.us. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB and check out your offer for 20% off. I've got right here, I've got the Just Ingredients pre-workout, phenomenal stuff. I've got the Just Ingredients protein shake. I'm telling you, I've had this 25 grams of protein per scoop. I had 2 scoops the other day. It just fills me up. I love it. And this stuff right here, this pre-workout, you want to talk about keeping you alert and awake while you're working out and throughout the day. This stuff is great. Why? Because it offers NSF certified line of protein powder, electrolytes, pre-workout, and creatine, all rigorously tested to ensure they're free of substances banned by major athletic organizations. Just Ingredients also is partnered with 2-time MVP Bryce Harper, who trusts their NSF certified sports line to fuel his training and recovery. Clean and transparent ingredients, fueling performance, whether you're recovering after a workout or you need energy boost. They're grass-fed, whey protein, and pre-workout deliver real results. Now, just visit justingredients.us and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for 20% off. And for more wellness tips, follow at just.ingredients on Instagram today.
Hey guys, thank you for making the Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Make us the first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go and check us out. Go and check out Locked On Fantasy Baseball. We got the fantasy draft. I'm in the middle of a fantasy draft right now, so go ahead and get all the hints.
Another one?
It's still the same one. It's a slow draft, so you got 8 hours in between picks. People don't use that much, but. What?
8 hours in between picks? Are y'all like talking to the actual players? Like, what? Are you insane?
Hey, Jose, do you want to join my team? Let me think about it, Eric. I'll get back to you. No, it's just some people select within 30 seconds, but some people select. It just gives you more time because most drafts, it's like a minute and 30 seconds, and it's kind of a rush. So some leagues do the slow draft.
We want to get on with it. You sound like you joined. Is this sponsored by the DMV? You know, the sloths from that movie with the DMV? Come on, man. 8 hours between picks. Isn't that a bit excessive? Eric, what do you have right there keeping you awake? Do you have your pre-workout? Because bro, I'm putting that joke on autopilot and I'm going to live my life, dude. Hey, you know what? I actually commend you with your dedication there. That's insane. But hey, you know what's not insane? Jalen Beeks, Stephen O'Kurt, this Astros bullpen. You know, these are guys that we sign that nobody's really talking about across the league. But the Astros know what the hell they're doing when it comes to scouting pitchers. Let's talk about Jalen.
Well, I know that yesterday Espada said he touched 95 miles per hour and he threw some good sliders, a changeup to righties. I like him. I'm glad that he threw 2 innings. I want to see more of him. I'm going to continue to throw him out there. So what he's done is he hasn't had a lot of success in the big leagues, but the Astros like his stuff. They like the way he his arm slot. It's good to have the different variety in your bullpen. That way you can kind of keep them guessing as they come in. So I think that the Astros they don't have a locked bullpen this year, especially with how questionable Forrest Whitley is at this point. But so somebody like Jalen Beeks, who's not on the 40-man roster, but you can add people like Lance McCullers, Christian Javier, and some other names. I think Christian Javier was already added to 60-man roster, 60-day IL. But you can also go ahead and just add some people to make room on the 40-man roster. So, but just know that these guys don't have options left. So once they're done, you need to bring these other guys up. These guys will be exposed to waivers.
Yeah, exactly. You know, at the end of the day, when you've got a Beeks and you've got an O'Kurt and you've got an Ort, you've got these guys that have names that just sound like someone's mispronouncing a a consonant or a vowel or something in a sentence, but they are legit threats to any opponent, I think, that steps in the box. Why? Because you've got guys like O'Kurt who can hit that back foot slider. I mean, it's just devastating what these guys can do with their spin rate. And, I just continue to be amazed by Astros player development. There's a guy that a lot of people were real high on that's getting a lot of talk today, Nick Swanson, who generated 14 whiffs on Tuesday, striking out 4 batters, touching 95. Okay. Last season with the Hooks, this kid struck out 118 batters in 111 innings with the Tourist and with the Hooks. And so not only do we have guys now here, have guys in AAA, we got guys in AA. We are chock full, and this steam train just keeps rolling with the Houston Astros. I like where we're at pitching wise. I think we have many options. And even if a Jalen Beeks doesn't perform what we need him to, it's not like we're expecting him to hang the moon or get relief man of the year, right? But he comes in there, gives us solid innings. You got Forrest Whitley when he is healthy and 100%, that guy can go 1 or 2 innings. You've got a bullpen that I think is going to be highly successful, Eric. And when your starter leaves, you don't have to worry and wonder who's going to bridge that 6th or 7th inning when you get to Abreu and Hader, who I think Hader's going to have a much better season this year.
Yeah, and as Rob brings up, doesn't he have closer experience? We need lefties to counter hitters like Corey Seager and those type of players. So, yeah, he's a lefty. The Astros need to find a lefty that will work the matchups that they want. They already have Brian Keane, but it's a different type of lefty. So the Astros will put the best roster together to I think you're going to see a fluctuating lineup like roster as they go throughout the season, but I'm excited to see what the opening day roster is, but at the same time, the opening day roster is not going to be the same roster you're going to see at the end of the season because there's a lot of change, a lot of we all thought Rafael Montero was going to be it last year. He was going to be the guy that was going to save us, but he ended up getting DFA'd. We thought that Jose Abreu would be the guy that was going to lead us to promised land as a first baseman. He ended up getting DFA'd. You never know what's going to happen.
I don't know if we thought
I'm exaggerating a little bit, Brett.
Okay, I was like, hold on. I don't know that we thought he was going to lead us to the promised land. Okay. When you started sounding, I was going, okay, I'm wondering what is Eric. Eric's been drinking too much of the Just Ingredients pre-workout. That's what it is.
Or too much Sunkist.
No, that's not a sponsor, Eric. No, you can't do that. This episode brought to you by Just Ingredients, not artificial ingredients that drink has. Empty calories, sir. Thank you very much. Don't make me turn into life coach. All right. Seriously though, the City Connect jersey, they moved up the reveal to today at noon. I wonder if the pressure from the public forced their hand on this, because aren't they supposed to wait until they actually put the jerseys out on the shelves for the people to buy? Or did they release it like this last time and I'm just misremembering? I'm
not really sure what the plan is, because I think that the press conference, so to speak, is going to be at noon, and then they will be released at midnight tonight. But why have all these people unless it's just media that gets to see it at noon, and then everybody else is just waiting for another 12 hours for midnight to open? Then the store is going to be open for 24 hours at Dyken Park. Then you could get your City Connect jersey. So it's just kind of like waiting for a box of chocolates, because you never know what you're going to get, because we don't know what it looks like at all, right? I mean, we have not seen it at all.
Don't you dare go into that voice, Eric Huysman. Don't you dare.
It took me all my might not to do it.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Mama always
anyway, no, gosh, Lord Jesus, we got to end the show early. We're at 29:12. No, someone's mentioning Cesar Salazar. Cesar Salazar is going to be there. He is a third catching option. If the unfortunate event happens where someone gets injured, then yes, Cesar Salazar comes up. The tough thing is this dude has done nothing but rake and perform. He just doesn't have a spot on the team. I think he's here. I think they keep him here for the long haul. I don't think he's necessarily desirable to other clubs, but he's definitely could be a help to us. And if after the contract is up for For Caratini, Cesar Salazar could easily slot into that backup catcher role. We've got other catchers coming up as well. And if Yainer Diaz ends up maybe going to first later on in his career and you bring up Cesar Salazar, you have him and Walker Yannick as your two catchers. That wouldn't be a bad little catching duo. Right. So where the Astros have been notoriously weak at the catching position and first base, we're notoriously strong now. And I love that shift in this organization.
When is Christian Walker coming back? We really don't know.
He's supposed to be taking at bats this weekend, from what I hear. If he takes at bats this weekend, he will be there opening day. Now, he may be limited in the preseason games versus the Space Cowboys just because they don't want to overwork him. But from what I understand, everything that I'm being told is that he will be ready opening day. Supposed to be swinging the bat in games, maybe by Saturday.
Okay, so it'd be good to have him in the lineup, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about Altuve at this point, but if the Astros feel like he'll be a liability in left field because he just didn't have a chance to get ready, then they won't put him in left field. But at this point, it looks like Cam Smith has done enough to earn a job. Will he get a job in the right field on opening day? That's up to Dana Brown and Joe Espada. Dezenzo has basically earned a job as well. So that's above our head. We have no control over that. I know that Cam Smith said that he's been following along on social media. He's been seeing what we're all talking about, maybe not what H. John Willhouse or Eric Talkstros is saying, but he's been seeing what people have been saying on social media. So, guys,
hey, come on, man. Give us a little credit. We talk more about the Astros than anybody, so I'm pretty sure he's seen our takes on it.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Make his first listen, Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, and we'll see you later. And, Brett, what do we always say?
Go Stros.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.